We're back. It's Hold My Banner. Adam and Ante here with you. Celtics Summer League action continued last night, and I'm sad to say that the perfect Summer League season has gone up in smoke, my friend. Celtics losing last night to the Miami Heat, 196, your final. So watching last night's game, and again, truth be told, wasn't paying too close attention to Summer League games, man. There's been some other stuff going on. As you know, we wear many hats here at Nesson, and so it was sort of looking at the Red Sox and some of the things that the Bruins have been doing this offseason. So wasn't paying too close attention.
And the home run derby was fun, too.
And the home run derby was pretty fun last night. But I did watch. And so I'll give you my take on last night's game and what stood out to me. But first, I want to get your thoughts on last night's game and the Summer League season as a whole for the Celtics so far. What stood out to you?
Energy. I think Brad epitomized, like he had an idea of what he wanted this team to be like going forward. What he wanted. He wanted youth. He wanted fast. He wanted energy, and he wanted winners. And I can tell you what, the Celtics lost that game last night. They went up against a Miami Heat team who was looking to really win a game.
They were winless going in.
Right. Pillow Larson talked about it before the tip, like, yo, I just want to win. You know what I'm saying? So they were locked in trying to win a game, too. They've been challenged by their head coach to go out there and be physical and beat guys up and do the things that the Miami Heat culture is. The Boston Celtics did the same in that game. I mean, you saw Jordan Walsh get ejected from a Summer League game. I've never seen that before. You know what I'm saying? And Joe Mazzulla, I guess, called him and said, hey, man, I love it, you know, and Brad wasn't as much of a fan on the sideline.
If you're watching the game, you saw Brad say, Jordan! Something along those lines after the shove. The second shove.
You know, I just noticed that they came with energy and intensity. They crashed the glass offensively hard, which shows a team that's locked in on the, you know, on the energy things. They picked up full court. They did the things that they needed to. The shots weren't falling for them last night, but I'm not really worried about that.
I'll start with Jordan Walsh just because we were talking about that, and it was funny, right? So he gets tossed from the game, his second technical, play along the sidelines. Brad Stevens watching after the shove, right? And so he's like all fired up, right? He's like, right? Which I thought was kind of funny. I saw a couple of the players laughing too. They're like, all right, man, what are you doing? Like, you just got tossed. But he said post-game, I don't know if you saw this, that he kind of low-key forgot that he got teed up earlier in the game. And so he might have handled that situation a little bit differently. So he doesn't get tossed from the game because you don't really want to get tossed, especially since the way he was playing. I mean, he was playing very well.
He was.
Maybe his best out of the three so far,
he had
right?
13 points in 10 minutes.
Last time out, he had 17 after a rough game one, I believe. So you don't want to get tossed because you want to showcase yourself as much as possible in these games. That's what this is all about. To your point, guy who brings energy, and he certainly does, and he was doing that. So you don't want to see him get tossed, but I was definitely impressed with what I saw right off the tip.
He missed that dunk. Exactly.
So he was showing that sort of aggressiveness and that energy and that tenacity that you were talking about. So, you know, I was actually expecting him to have more of a role with the Celtics last year. He didn't have a great Summer League last year. You know, and didn't, you know, carve out a role for himself on a very good Celtics team. Obviously, you know, you're trying to fight for minutes. But this year, as we've talked about, this is the opportunity for a lot of the guys that we see on the court in the Summer League to break through in the NBA roster.
100%. I mean, you talk about him, and he had an amazing game in that 10 minutes that he had. But the development that he's had on the defensive end, what he's become as a leader for that team. I think a big part of why they lost that game is because they lost his leadership, you know what I mean, being around the guys. If they would have had him, they would have got that push earlier and probably finished out the game stronger than they did. And he's the biggest thing about him and his development, I think, is being able to hit that catch and shoot three. Which he's shown, you know, game one was a little shaky, but like you said, game two, game three, he's shown the ability to make that shot at a pretty high level. As long as he can do that, he can carve out real minutes for the Celtics team. I think he's going to carve them out no matter what. But that can make this team take a little bit further step. I see them like as a 6 or 7 seed in the East. They can end up being a 4 seed if he's a guy that consistently knocks down that shot. Now, the other guy that everyone has their eye on is Hugo Gonzalez, of course, the first round draft pick for the Celtics here in the 2025 NBA draft. I mean, this kid didn't have the game that you would expect out of him offensively because of the, Jordan Walsh being out, Mari Williams sitting out of this one. You would assume that he's going to step up offensively, and I think he tried, but that's not his skill set right now. I think the parts that people need to buy into that were important for him in this game was the hustle on the offensive glass, his ability to cut and make plays for himself without the ball. The defense was really good when he was not getting too excited. That's the thing about him. I think he's young. He's like a puppy. He's like a young puppy. You know what I mean? You get that puppy, and they're scratching at your legs at him, and they're clawing at you, and they're jumping at you.
Yeah, it's like, get off me, come on.
That's Hugo Gonzalez right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On the offense and the defensive end, I think he needs to slow down a hair a little bit, but I think when you put him around the calm and collectedness of a JB, of a Derek White, even a George Niang if he's gonna be around this team, he's gonna figure out how to fit in defensively and figure out his defensive identity and where he can take swings and where he can take misses and take chances, because they won't have the front court that can protect the rim like they've had in the past.
The peer-to-peer mentorship, right? Once you get to training camp, obviously with those veterans that are there, and again, Jayson Tatum's out. They made some trades, but they still have some core pieces that have been there, done that, and won a championship.
Right.
So that's going to be important for a young player like Hugo Gonzalez. But in terms of, his game, and I think, what you were talking about in terms of his tenacity and the energy that brings to the court, there was one sequence that I think encapsulated, what you're going to see from Hugo Gonzalez, not only this summer, but probably in training camp, was that, good on the offensive glass, right? But gets the offensive rebound and immediately he turns over the basketball. Right? So it's like you got to take the good with the bad, 100%. And it's part of a learning process with him. In terms of other guys that stood out, and obviously he's 19 years old. How about Charles Bassey?
Man.
So I think that this is the guy out of who we're talking about, like so far, that has a legit shot at the Celtics roster.
I mean, he might have a chance of being a starter in this Celtics roster.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? He played in that Spurs system. He's, came into the league. He played for the 76ers, played under Joel Embiid. I mean, those are two places that you want to be when you want to learn how to be a good defensive big. I mean, the Spurs under Popovich, you can't complain about that. Learning from Joel Embiid, I know people aren't a huge fan of here in Boston. Whatever you want to feel about him, I don't care. Defensively, when he is on the court, he is one of the better defenders in the NBA currently. So if you're learning from guys like that, you're going to be a great player. But it's not even just the defense. It's the fact that he understands how to rebound the ball on the offensive end. He understands how to be a vertical big, set screens, roll hard to the rim, get above the rim before the ball's even out of your player's hands, and he's sitting there waiting there like, are you going to throw it? I mean, if Max Schugler, who's a great guard, who probably won't get a lot of minutes on this Boston Celtics team, can help him get up and throw lobs, then, I mean, what do you think is going to happen when he's with a Derek White, when he's with a Jaylen Brown? It's going to be nice and easy for him.
Yeah, and I think that's something that the Celtics clearly need to address is, the big man situation, right? With the departure of Porzingis and Luke Cornett, and then obviously you got Al Horford, who, might even retire. If he doesn't find the right fit for him. So there's definitely a need for a Charles Bassey on the roster. And then you have my guy Baylor Scheierman, man. I'll be honest with you, I like his game, man. I like you're like well, no, I mean I think
go ahead.
I think he's a smart player. I think he's a real smart player.
He is.
Some of the nice passes he made last night. And he was able to shoot the three a little bit last night, which I think stood out.
Started figuring it out a little bit. He's been a little cold throughout summer league, but he started to figure it out there a little bit. I think the shot, I'm not worried about that. He is a shooter. He's made over, I think it was like 400 or 500 threes, or it was some crazy number. I can't remember. But he made a lot of threes in college. You know what I'm saying? And you're talking about a guy who's, comes in and buys into the fact that, hey, I'm not just a shooter. I'm not going to just be a shooter. I'm not, Sam Hauser as a rookie or whatever. No disrespect to Sam Hauser. He was a great player as a rookie. But, I come in.
Sam Hauser got paid.
He did, because he did a lot of great things.
Yeah.
But, he comes in, he knows immediately that he needs to be better on defense. He's bought into that. He's taking charges out there. He's doing a little bit of that back tap, as we like to call it in the basketball circles, where he's letting guys kind of go by him, and he do what we call Olay defense, and he's just tapping it from the back. I don't think Joe Mazzulla's going to like that too much.
No, that's not part of the
you know what I mean?
plan,
He's being active in different ways on the defensive end. He's bringing a lot of leadership to these young guys on the team. He's making shots. He's facilitating. He's doing everything that you could ask from him. He got a nice offensive rebound in the game as well, so he knows how to crash the glass. He does a little bit of everything. It's like a poor man's version of Jayson Tatum. And when you're looking for guys who are going to build up some minutes for Jayson Tatum, when you're taking away 30-something minutes,
right,
and you're trying to fill that with guys, 5 minutes here, Baylor Scheierman, 5 minutes here, Jordan Walsh, maybe 5 minutes here of a Miles Norris, who also did a great job in the summer league game, showing his ability to switch on the bigs and do stuff like that. Another 10 minutes here from Bassey to fill out some of those minutes. He did a great job guarding Khalil Ware in the paint last night. It's going to be by committee. You're not doing it by one person.
Right, and that's why these summer league games, for the first time in a while, are important.
Yes.
Because you're looking at guys who could actually play a role on the Celtics roster.
100%.
All right, so I'll be perfectly honest with you. Big Kenny Lofton Jr. fan.
Oh,
I love watching this guy play. I know it's not gonna happen. I know it's not gonna happen.
Yes.
But if this guy ever made the Celtics roster, he would be a fan favorite, man.
Yeah.
The side, it's like Big Baby reincarnate, without like the criminal record. Without the criminal record.
Right.
You know what I mean? but seriously, just watching him back, I don't know who it was last night, backing somebody down.
Yeah.
And it's a guy had 42 points in an NBA game, man. Like, he'd fill it up a little bit. I know he's not making the roster, but it'd be like Taco Fall when Taco finally got in the game like a couple years back. Like, Taco Tuesday, let's go.
Right. And Casey brought up the fact that I brought him up before the summer league started, is just saying, like, hey, this is a player of note. Like, he could do some good things. Let's see what he does. You know what I mean? Right. Could he fill out some four-man minutes for this Boston Celtics team with no Jayson Tatum, with no KP? You know what I mean? Could he fill out some of those minutes? Offensively,
he's not gonna make the team, man.
He's just a tough watch sometimes.
Yeah.
I do love when he gets downhill and he puts his shoulder in the guys and he's physical, and it's like, man, how do you stop that? And then the next play, he's like jacking up a three and dribbling too much and not defensively, just not that guy. I mean, I think there's a role for him in the NBA somewhere, because I do think he has the talent to be an NBA guy off the bench. I mean, all these things that he brings, but Celtics, dog.
No, he's not. He's not making the team. He's going back to China. That's where he's playing professionally, right?
Wong Dong Tigers. Who he play for? That's like
right,
Shaq said.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.